It was 1 year ago today that a derecho devastated Houston, blowing out windows across the Houston skyline. In the following months, scientists flocked here to Houston to figure out how these buildings designed to withstand hurricanes were so severely damaged. KPRC-TV's Gage Goulding is in Miami, where researchers are working to answer that very question.
Spring storms are nothing new in Houston, but that Thursday afternoon last year was anything but ordinary. In a matter of an hour, the 2024 Houston derecho left behind more than $1 billion in damage and claimed the lives of 8 Houstonians. As we cleaned up and rebuilt, the derecho became a subject of study for researchers.
We've been doing a research on derecho or thunderstorm downburst impact on buildings for a few years now.
Turntable brakes activated.
Our storm being a perfect example of what the team at Florida International University in Miami is studying. How these winds, called downbursts, have different impacts to buildings and infrastructure like power lines. This NASA drawing of a downburst is a great visualization. Cool, heavier air is pulled straight down by storms and slammed into the ground, shooting in every direction.
It's kind of a very complex problem to study.
In order to study it, they have to remake it.
So how do we recreate the winds that we saw during the derecho last May? Well, in Miami, Florida, there's a facility that's all about wind and lets researchers actually recreate what we saw in Houston.
You're here at the FIU Wall of Wind, 12 giant fans, and we can create up to Category 5 hurricane conditions.
This facility was designed for hurricane research. Over the last decade, the Wall of Wind has helped change building codes across the country. Here's how it works.
These tall spires and the flaps in the floor help create turbulence, simulating how wind moves in a real hurricane. The winds push through this tunnel and then onto the project that's being tested. Meanwhile, all of this is being monitored and controlled by scientists.
But now, the team here has developed a way to mimic downbursts. Using this big attachment, they can simulate the derecho in Houston, and their findings are eye-opening.
The tall buildings that were designed for a higher wind speed, the straight line wind speeds, they actually suffered from the derecho.
In simple terms, our Skyline, which is designed to be hurricane resistant, is actually susceptible to damage from downburst winds, specifically the facade and windows.
Once you have a damaged window, what happens is that you have changed the internal pressure of the building.
That doesn't mean our downtown skyscrapers are going to fall down. It's saying the current building codes we thought were strong enough to fend off hurricanes might not be strong enough for a derecho.
What happened in Houston last year kind of popped the top off this entire investigation.
It was a clear evidence that whatever the research we are doing here is a reality that we need to take care of.
It's not just Houston.
It's not just Houston.
High rises across the country.
This is worldwide.
Bottom line, we need to make all our communities across the nation more resilient.
That's the answer. Building better to be more resilient. What does that look like? Well, that's what researchers at the Wall of Wind are trying to solve next. In Miami, Gage Goulding, KPRC-2 News.